Have you ever given your whole heart to someone, only to receive cold indifference in return? It feels like your soul is screaming into the void. It is a silent ache when your kindness goes unnoticed, making you feel like a ghost that exists but remains invisible to the eyes of the world. We live in an age where being seen is equated with being valued, yet we often find ourselves waiting for a response that never seems to come. This disappointment is not just simple sadness, it is a quiet wound inflicted when our ego fails to find a home in the recognition of others. Like rain falling on a vast lake, our efforts sometimes disappear without a trace, leaving us to wonder if our presence truly matters in this life. We crave the light of validation, yet the more we seek it, the more we feel the cold shadows of neglect creeping into our daily lives. When your identity is tied to how others perceive you, every moment of being ignored feels like a slow erasure of your very own existence today. Is there a way to find peace when the world turns its back on your light? Stoicism offers a path back to the strength within yourself. Let us explore why being unknown is not a curse, but rather the most powerful fortress you can ever build for your soul's ultimate freedom. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius once mused on the nature of fame, calling it nothing more than a fleeting clap of hands that soon dies out. If a great emperor could see the emptiness of praise, why do we still chain our happiness to the fickle opinions of people who will vanish? Everything we see is temporary, and the voices that cheer for us today will be silenced by time tomorrow, just like the empires of the past. To seek external validation is to build your house on shifting sands. It is a fragile existence that depends entirely on the whims of the crowd. Seneca, the great Stoic teacher, warned that looking for applause from the world is the fastest way to lose the connection with your true self. The Stoics taught that our value is inherent, not granted by others. It is found in our character, our choices, and our inner moral compass alone. When we stop needing to be known, we stop being slaves to the world's expectations. We finally begin to live for the sake of virtue itself. Think of your life as a hidden flame. It does not need an audience to burn brightly. Its warmth and light are their own reward. In the grand scale of the cosmos, human fame is an invisible speck. Recognizing this insignificance is the first step toward achieving true inner peace. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that those who praise him now will soon be dead, and those they praised before them are already gone. Why then do we struggle so hard to be remembered by people who do not even know themselves? This realization brings a profound sense of relief. The desire for reputation is a heavy chain. By letting go of the need for a name, you unburden your soul and walk with lightness. Stoicism isn't about being cold, it's about being grounded. It's about realizing that your worth is a private matter between you and your own soul. When you are no longer searching for your reflection in the eyes of others, you can finally see the path that lies clearly before you. Imagine a beautiful song that plays non-stop, 24 hours a day. Eventually, it ceases to be music and becomes nothing more than background noise. This is the paradox of presence. When you are always available, always giving, and always seeking to be seen, your value begins to diminish rapidly. If you are everywhere for everyone, you end up being nowhere for yourself. Your kindness becomes an expectation, a utility that others take for granted. Without boundaries, your generosity is no longer a gift, it is a commodity. You become a resource to be used rather than a human being. We often mistake being needed for being loved. But being needed for what you do is very different from being valued for who you are. The more you strive to please the crowd, the more your unique colors fade into a dull, gray conformity that satisfies everyone but your own heart. By trying to be everything to everyone, you become nothing to yourself. This exhaustion of the spirit is the price of constant, unguided availability. Your light is precious. If you shine it on everything indiscriminately, you will eventually run out of fuel and leave yourself in the deep dark. Stoicism teaches us to be selective. It invites us to withdraw our energy from the noise and invest it back into our own character and growth. When you stop being a people pleaser, you might lose the applause, but you will finally regain your dignity and your sense of self-worth today. There is a quiet power in saying no. It is the act of reclaiming your time and your soul from the demands of an ungrateful world. Being less available is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of self-preservation. It allows your presence to have actual weight and meaning. Value is found in rarity. By embracing the art of depth and silence, you transform from a background noise into a profound and resonant melody. A fountain does not stop to ask if anyone is drinking its water. It flows simply because it is full and cannot contain its own abundance. This is the essence of inner strength. Your goodness should come from an overflowing heart, not from a desire to be seen or thanked by others. Epictetus, the former slave-turned-philosopher, taught that true authority lies in mastering yourself. It is about filling your own cup before seeking others. When you are self-sufficient, you no longer beg for attention. You become a source of life and wisdom that exists independently of any external audience. Loving others does not mean abandoning yourself. True compassion is only possible when you are grounded in your own sense of peace and stability. To self-fill is to cultivate your mind. It is to find joy in your own thoughts, your own projects, and your own quiet observations of life. Your growth happens in the dark, away from the eyes of the world. Like a seed beneath the soil, your potential is nurtured in silence. Can you be happy with a masterpiece that only you can see? That is the ultimate test of whether you are living for yourself or others. The world cannot give you what you refuse to give yourself. Validation is a hollow substitute for the solid gold of self-respect and inner integrity. When you are full, you are free. You move through the world with a quiet confidence that doesn't need to shout to be felt by others. Your soul is a deep well. If you keep drawing from it to please others without letting it refill, you will eventually find only dry dust. Take time to be alone. Take time to breathe. Take time to remember that your first and most important relationship is the one with yourself. Let your heart be a sanctuary, a place where you can return to find strength when the world outside feels cold and increasingly indifferent to you. There is a hidden power in being unknown. It is the power of a life lived without the burden of constant public performance or judgment. When no one is watching, you are free to be your most authentic self. You can explore, fail, and grow without the fear of social shame. The unknown man is the only truly free man. He does not have a reputation to protect, nor does he have a brand to maintain. In the shadows of anonymity, your creativity can flourish without the polluting influence of what the market or the public currently demands from you. The power of the unknown is the power of mystery. It is a depth that others cannot easily map, manipulate, or use for their own ends. When you don't need to be known, you gain an ultimate advantage. You are no longer predictable or easily controlled by those who seek power. You become like a mountain. The weather of public opinion changes constantly, but the mountain remains rooted in the deep earth, unmoved by the wind. This thumb tram, this profound depth, is a fortress. Inside its walls, your identity is protected from the corrosive influence of both praise and blame. Praise cannot make you better, and blame cannot make you worse. You are exactly who you are, regardless of what the world says today. There is a secret joy in having a private life, a sacred space that belongs only to you and those you choose to invite in. Embrace your invisibility. Use it as a cloak that allows you to move through life with a freedom that the famous can only dream of. When you are unknown, you can be a student of life forever. You can change, evolve, and reinvent yourself without having to answer to anyone. Depth is more important than surface area. A deep root can withstand a hurricane, while a wide, shallow one will be uprooted by a breeze. The greatest power you can possess is the power to be your own judge, to look in the mirror and be satisfied with the man. This is the true art of living, to be a masterpiece that exists for its own sake, beautiful and complete, even if no one ever sees. The empty chair in a quiet room is not a sign of loneliness. It is a symbol of a choice, the choice to be with oneself. To grow emotionally, you must learn to sit in that chair. You must learn to find companionship in your own soul without needing any decoration. Emotional maturity is the realization that the world's applause is just noise. The only voice that truly matters is the quiet whisper of your conscience. When you can be happy in a room alone, you are no longer a victim of circumstance. You have found a source of joy that's eternal. This is the ultimate healing. To belong to yourself so completely that the presence or absence of others no longer determines your internal sense of peace. We spend our lives trying to be someone in the eyes of others, forgetting that we are already someone in the eyes of the very universe. The Stoic path is not one of isolation, but of profound connection, a connection to the truth that lies beneath the superficial layers of human fame. Live like that flower. Bloom because it is your nature to bloom. Be beautiful because it is your truth to be beautiful, not for eyes. The power of being unknown is the power of being whole. It is the strength of a soul that has found its home within its own. May you find the courage to be invisible. May you find the strength to be depth in a world that is far too often merely surface. Remember, the greatest power is not being known by the world, but when the world goes quiet, you still know exactly who you truly are.